Hi, and welcome to another interview with Action Financial Strategies. Today we have Scott Wink with CRW Insurance. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to another great interview with our dear friend Scott Wink with CRW Insurance in Holstein, Wisconsin. We're shooting on location in the mighty metropolis of New Holstein. And today we're going to talk about a recent transition Scott had with partnering into his practice, another business. So we're going to talk about that today. And Scott has been a family friend and also a business partner of my father, Brian, for many years. And so recently he made some changes with CRW, and we're going to talk about that today. So Scott, a lot has happened in the last 8 months for you.
It's been busy.
It's been busy. How did you decide that this was the right time for you to transition and partner with another company?
Brad, I think there's several factors that come into play. I think you have to look at your personal life and then your professional life. For me, where I was in my personal life with my wife and daughter, knowing that we wanted to take more time off, okay, it was the right time to be able to do that and know that the firm would still run seamlessly. Okay, professionally, again, I was partners with your dad for 27 years. It was the right time to hand over the reins professionally. When you look at when's the right time to make a change with your business, first of all, you have to be okay with not being the guy anymore, right? Okay, and I was fine with that. I never personally really enjoyed being the boss, if you will. I just enjoyed working with my clients, from the insurance standpoint. So professionally, it was the right move. Time-wise, when you look at when do you partner with, sell out, or whichever way you want to look at it, you always want to do it when you're at the height, right?
Smart.
I was blessed with 29 years of constant growth, 29 years of great profitability, great relationships with company or with the carriers, great reputation, and it made sense. You always get out when you're at the best. As when I announced to my staff, I said, the timing is right. We're very attractive to other companies, and so I was fortunate to be able to choose who I wanted to partner with.
So let's talk about that. So how did you start the process of, okay, I know that this is going to be the next transition for me, and having a larger company like Diamond, right, come in and sort of add the resources to your business, so you didn't have to be playing boss, right? You could work on your clients. Well, how did you start that process of determining that, okay, this is the path, and then who do I actually pick? Is there like a database of other bigger companies that are saying, hey, we'd like to absorb you into our fold, or is it more I just called around people in the industry and figured it out from there? How did you go about figuring out Diamond was the path?
Little of both, to be honest with you. I started this process about 1.5 years ago, and what really started me thinking about is it time is I had a very close friend that became terminally ill, and I did some soul searching, going, if that happened to me, if I got that news, what would happen to my company? What would happen to my clients? What would happen to my employees? What would happen to my family? Okay, and everybody's replaceable. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but it would definitely have a huge negative impact. So that got the ball rolling.
Sure.
Okay, as far as maybe is it time. In our industry, I'd get calls weekly of, hey, can we have lunch and talk?
Sure.
Right? So one thing that in the vetting process, there's 9 different companies I vetted.
Wow.
They had to be financially stable. They had to have the same, core values that I had. They had to put clients and employees first. Okay, so a lot of time vetting. Okay, looking at different aspects.
Suppose you don't get to know that in one lunch date, right?
Yes, and you can only sign your name on that piece of paper one time.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a very stressful time, to be honest with you, and because you got this whole emotional thing, the back and forth, and if you do this, oh my gosh, you give up so much, it was very, very trying, very stressful. Diamond was actually a late horse in the race, if you will. They came highly recommended when every year I have to meet with my marketing reps for goal planning, and they always want to know perpetuation, and they knew I was looking, and several well-respected company personnel recommended them. So therefore, I did reach out to them, and that's really where started the ball rolling, and it was kind of love at first sight. I had a extremely comfortable, warm feeling about them, their management group, their core values, what's important to them, really aligned with what was important to me.
You said something interesting there, how you leaned on the folks in your network to, kind of assist you in the process of finding someone rather than just, bull rushing it yourself and, oh, this is my thing, I got to handle it myself and figure it out. That's interesting you bring that up, because we talk a lot to our clients about the network of advisors that isn't just necessarily the insurance guy, the accountant, and the attorney. It's other professionals that you networked with over the last 20-some years.
Exactly.
To build the trust and
our business is a little bit different than maybe a manufacturer, a construction company, or something of that nature. During this process, Diamond, they're located in Paris, Illinois. They've done over 70 acquisitions. They're the 47th largest independent agency in the country. I reached out to numerous principals that joined the group, that partnered with Diamond. So I got to find out, was it as good as what you thought it would be? Which was a huge sleeping pill for me. And
some peace of mind behind the veil.
Exactly. So what did the marriage look like?
Yeah.
The honeymoon is one thing.
Yeah.
Now the marriage is a whole different thing. And to hear and have that those conversations with people that went through what I am going through and have went through was extremely important, and to know that they're as happy 4, 5, 8 years down the road after they made that decision was good to hear.
So speak a little bit for those that are looking to transition similarly with whatever businesses they might be into, not maybe necessarily property casualty, but similar service businesses. Speak to some of the players that were involved in this process from, was there a banker involved? Was there an attorney involved? Speak to some of the players that you felt were helpful to have in the mix.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to go down this road by yourself. The key people, your dad happens to be my, financial planner, so he was involved right in the beginning. Our CPA firm and a law firm that specialized in agency acquisitions.
Because specifically agency acquisitions.
So it was important for me because our industry is kind of unique. So I wanted to deal with a law firm that's all they did. And so those are really the key players. In this process, I reached out to, I'm doing this 30-some years and have relationships from people in the industry that are all over the board as far as, starting an agency, middle of the road, have sold their agency, whatever. And I reached out to those people and, hey, what were your stumbling blocks? What were issues that you found? Because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And so, again, that was a 1.5 year process of asking questions, reaching out to people. And so it's recommendation, make sure you're surrounded with people that are professionals in whatever, area, whether it be accounting, tax planning, et cetera, and ask a lot of questions. No matter what industry you're in, there's other people that have walked in your shoes. So try to reach out to them and hey, what went well, what didn't go well, and try to avoid those mistakes.
That's really good. In hindsight, I always want to talk about hindsight because that's 2020. Now that you've had a few months now to kind of reflect on the transition, what would you say you wish would have gone differently, and that you wish you would have maybe prepared more for, if anything?
It went very smoothly. The stress, the stress was unbelievable.
For the whole time, or like in the last, since you said,
Well,
okay, Diamond, here's it, it's us, and then
when-
that transition?
when I made my decision of the who, all right, there was a lot of due diligence. A ton of due diligence. So it was, getting information, the proper information for them, a lot of questions. It was
The
a lot
scrutiny of the deal.
a lot of ping pong back and forth, and the vulnerable part, if you will, was I had to disclose to my staff what I was planning on doing before anything was finalized. Which, whenever you do that, causes fear, right? Because it's the unknown, which I get. The advantage I had compared to my staff was I had a year and a half of knowing these people.
Sure.
and the relationship, the trust, the quality of people that they are. My staff didn't have that opportunity. Once they met them, it was a game changer. Then they got it. But that was probably the most stressful thing, and it couldn't have happened any other way.
Right.
It is what
Not
it
going to
is.
tell everybody, hey, I'm
Yeah.
looking at doing this.
And the neat thing through this whole experience, Brad, I tried to reach out to as many of my commercial clients as possible, and I was nervous, hesitant how that would go. It was congratulations, it was hugs, it was tears, good for you. It was, so you're still my guy, right? You're still going to be there. Yep, I'm here. My staff's here. I just got rid of all the stuff that I'm not good at and don't like to do. All the HR stuff that business owners, the negotiating copier leases. Just all those things that take up time. But it was humbling, the response I got from my clients. And, where I was fearful of, oh my gosh, it's changed, or they're not going to be happy. It was the complete opposite. It was good for you.
It's a testament to the relationship that you have built with them, rather than it being a transactional relationship, and this is viewed as a negative.
Correct.
So, with less responsibility now with the business,
And that's awesome.
do you have goals for yourself professionally still?
Yes.
What's the next?
I'm 53, so I'm younger. I plan on doing this for quite a while yet. I absolutely enjoy what I do. I enjoy working with my clients. I enjoy all the referrals that I get. I enjoy the problem solving, the helping them. I love that, and I'm excited for that to continue. And I just got rid of, probably 50 to 60% of my day was doing stuff that I didn't, to be honest, enjoy doing. It was stressful. It was the stuff that you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, like, oh my gosh, problem solving for employees, problem solving for, whatever it might be.
Sure.
That's not my responsibility anymore. The toughest thing is realizing it's not my responsibility anymore. That is the tough, and again, I'm 2 months into this. When I talked to other agency principals that went through what I went through, they said it takes 3 months until you realize that it's not my problem. You just get to do what you're good at and what you enjoy doing. So I'm excited. Yeah, it's fun. The stress level is much lower. My wife says I'm more fun to be around.
That's good.
So yeah, it was again, get back to your question, the timing. It was the right time.
Sure, that makes sense. So shifting gears a little bit, we like to ask, because COVID's fresh in everyone's mind. How has COVID impacted the, first off, CRW business, but then the transition? Was there any hiccups in the transition because of COVID?
Not really. The the tough part, again, a year and a half is when I started this process. Because of COVID, everything was done by Zoom meetings. I'm not a big fan of that, you know. So it was difficult.
Kind of the vetting process.
The vetting process, because you
really knowing
know
who these people are.
Exactly, you're not in the same room with them and all those type of things. So that was a little bit of a challenge. As far as how it affected CRW, you know, I'm seasoned. You know, I've got 29, 30 years into this. You know, it really didn't have that big of an impact. Where it did have a greater impact is on the agents that didn't have the tenure and the book of business, and they simply couldn't see people. So it was challenging for them more than it was for me personally.
Sure, that's good. Good insight. So the question is, everyone wants to know is, now that you've gone through this process, would you do it again?
Yes. Yeah, getting back to kind of the first question is, how'd you know? For me, it was the perfect timing personally and professionally. I got lucky. It worked out well. The partnership with Diamond could not have gone smoother. It was everything that they said they would do. They did, and with me, with my staff,
which almost seems rare today.
And it's kind of funny because when I was doing my due diligence and talking to other people that have gone through this, it was the same thing, that they did everything that they said they would do. There was no 11th hour. There, well, but that type of thing. Everything was, they did everything that they said they would do for me, for my employees, all that stuff, so it was a great experience. So
awesome. So last question is, what's one point of advice you'd give to someone else looking to do a similar thing for themselves and their business going forward?
Make sure that you're emotionally ready for the change. Everybody that you're going to be talking to are business owners. They've been the guy, right? Or the gal. And they have to be okay with not being the guy or the gal, okay? And especially, like, I want to stay in the business, some people walk away. That's a different story.
But principally, nothing's changed. You're still in the same office suite. You're
nothing's
still
changed.
Show up to the same place every day.
Yeah. But you have to be ready emotionally for that. Me, because I'd never enjoyed that part of it. It's great going, yeah, this is who you need to talk to now. I don't have to solve those problems. I'm not the guy anymore, and I'm okay with that. Because I just enjoy doing what I do, working with my clients. And so I guess the takeaway would be, depends upon, if you're a manufacturing company or, whatever. If you're going to stay in, you just have to make sure that you're okay, that you're not going to have the same duties, responsibilities that you did previously, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I see that as a big hurdle for a lot of folks that I've talked to who have bought businesses, and they still have the person working on, and it's like nothing changed, and there's still a lot of conflict internally.
Yep.
So that's a really good insight. I appreciate that. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on our interview with Scott, and congratulations on the change.
Thank you.
And I look forward to continue to see you succeed in this business. And with that, guys, stay tuned for our next interview.